Okay, hey guys. Today we're going to be talking about marketing campaigns, publicity stunts, and other organic ways to grow a brand or movement. So the things we're going to go over are really varied. We're going to start with some corporate brands that have done crazy things and then get more into political groups. But just as a disclaimer, the economic rights movement is not endorsing any of these groups. We're just dissecting what spreads the word about a movement. These are a few of the things we're going to go over. So we've got like PETA and the Sunrise Movement first, and then getting into some different stuff. So, like I said, starting us off is the Sunrise Movement, which is actually really cool because it's a group of kids behind the Green New Deal, which I didn't know until I was researching this. But essentially, these college students became tired of the constant worry about the future associated with climate change. And since our elected leaders weren't doing anything about it, they decided to write the policy themselves and then petition these politicians to adopt it. So they've been really successful in a short period of time. And I think a lot of that has to do with the community that they've created with their members. As you can see here, we kind of go over the house in which people are allowed to stay if they're part of the movement. So they have houses on college campuses that students can live, work, and play in if they're part of the chapter. So taking care of their members and creating real connections has allowed them to expand very rapidly because obviously if you meet people's basic needs, they have more time to, work on the things that they're passionate about and do good deeds. So they continue to organize and recruit as they push the Green New Deal that plans on bringing resiliency against the climate crisis while creating millions of jobs in the process. So here we go, some more of their success story, just more about the Green New Deal, and then a picture of the protest. So some of our takeaways here are young people are best for galvanizing a movement. And the second thing is providing food, housing, and other support to your members can allow them to make a greater impact and help you out. And then 3, it's important to write policy rather than waiting for officials to do it. Don't wait for your elected officials to do things. You could do things yourself and then petition them to adopt it. So next we have PETA, which is a hugely controversial organization, and they support the ethical treatment of animals. So PETA was originally pretty cool when it started. The founder was a whistleblower who went undercover into factories a lot, and then he would bring the footage to the media and bring them down. Their first major campaign they did, he got a job at a research facility in Maryland in order to expose the experiments that were being conducted on monkeys there. So then they distributed these photos of the monkeys being kept in horrific conditions. It led to a police raid and eventually the first ever conviction of a researcher on animal cruelty charges. So that was very impactful. It gained them a lot of support. However, PETA has kind of lived long enough to see themselves become the villain. It's now estimated that PETA kills more animals than they save in the name of being merciful. So their outrageous publicity stunts have garnered more negative attention than positive, and now they're seen as more of a joke than anything. So our takeaways from this are stay true to your roots as you expand. Make sure you don't do more harm than good. We have some examples here about the stuff that PETA does, spending a lot of money on absurd PR campaigns rather than doing the whistleblower stuff they were doing before. So you really need to fully understand the situation. PETA set out to save animals and now kills more than they save. So another example would be the company Tom's. They were really popular. They make shoes, but they gave out a free pair of shoes to an impoverished area each time a pair of their shoes sold. So this put local shoemakers out of business and actually made the poverty situation worse. And Tom's was very good about this. They worked more with the community, and now that they learned that lesson, they've changed their approach and the way they go about things and have made a positive impact. But it's really important to listen to the people that you're actually working with rather than telling them what they need and assuming. So our next example is a more lighthearted one. One morning, the people of LA awoke to find a new mural had gone up overnight. The city is known for having cliche art walls all over that people constantly take pictures with. The catch with this one, though, is that it had security out front and a sign that said you could only take a picture if you had 20,000 Instagram followers. So people were outraged and the news quickly spread all over the media. The creator kind of had a gotcha moment, though, when he revealed it had all been a publicity stunt to promote his new show about the ridiculousness about social media and influencers. So the people who took a picture with the wall kind of received a lot of comments and many took them down. And our takeaways here are using humor attracts a wider audience and gets the message across in a stronger way. And using outrage in the media does spread like wildfire. Okay. So, as strange as the concept may sound, fast food aid proved to be an effective way to help at. Oh, I just messed that up. I read the wrong paragraph. Okay, we're going to talk about fast food aid. And in the wake of a fast food crisis in an increasingly malnourished community, a health conscious restaurant in Tokyo launched fast food aid. It's a pop up that offers the public the nutrients they need based on the fast food they have consumed, all for free. So, all you need to do is bring your fast food receipt in, and they give you the opportunity to get your body what it didn't get from your meal. So, you can see on the left here, if you had a hamburger for lunch, they give you these vitamins that replace what you didn't get from the hamburger. So, as strange as the concept may sound, fast food aid proved to be an effective way to help educate the public about nutrition and health. And in return, it indirectly helps to drive more patrons to its restaurants. Our next one is a non-for-profit called Fashion Revolution, and they've created a wonderful social experiment that has challenged people to reconsider how they shop for their clothes. A vending machine they set up in Berlin offers passersby shirts for only €2, but there was an unexpected catch. They first have to watch a video about the exploited sweatshop laborers that make clothes as cheap as possible. The video was released on April 24th, or Fashion Revolution Day. This day commemorates the collapse of Rana Plaza in Bangladesh in 2013, which killed more than 1,000 garment workers. So once the montage ended, the watcher was given the opportunity to use their money to buy that same t-shirt or to donate it to help these workers. Obviously, most people watch the horrific video and pick the second option. So it was a great way for them to raise money and raise awareness. So this made a huge impact on people and it was shared countless times. Our takeaways here are make a statement by giving people an experience rather than just telling them a message. And also, having them walk through something really helps the learning experience and will allow it to sink in more. Also, shaming people sometimes works if you do it in small doses, just a little bit. So, Turning Point USA, this organization was able to become popular during the Trump era because of their focus on conservative students and universities who felt isolated in places that were largely liberal. They try to focus mostly on economic issues, but they have strayed a little bit from their original intentions. So they try to mobilize students in support of the free market and spread the word via debates and watch parties. This organization does a good job of exposing students to other economical views they may not have heard of, and it does so in a safe college atmosphere that makes it feel a little less intense. However, their online presence is often ridiculed because of their inability to create memes that people actually enjoy, and people often make fun of founder Charlie Kirk in his personal life. So, takeaways are if you're starting a movement, it may be best to keep yourself anonymous and focus more on the group as a whole, and also hire good social media creators if you want to be taken seriously. Speaking of shock value, Red Bull has been notorious for crazy stunts in the past, but this one we're going to focus on was one night a city of people believed they were seeing a shooting star, but it ended up being a man jumping from a plane with pyrotechnics strapped to his back. Originally, people had been tweeting about the beautiful shooting star, and then it was funny to watch all of them switching into shock when they figured out it was a skydiver. Hi. This was true. So I'm going to just restart this paragraph. Speaking of shock value, Red Bull has been notorious for crazy stunts. One night, a city of people believed they were seeing a shooting star, but it ended up being a man jumping from a plane with pyrotechnics strapped to his back. Originally, people had been tweeting about the beautiful shooting star, and then it was funny to watch all of them switching to shock when they figured out it was a skydiver. So at first this got everyone talking because they thought it was a really cool natural event. And then once everyone figured out it was a guy jumping off a plane with pyrotechnics, the absurdity of it kept Red Bull in people's minds. So speaking of absurdity, here's a quick one that I just wanted to share because it was so ridiculous. This place at a fair actually attached ads to flies that were flying around and landing on people and drove people to their exhibition booth. Back in the day, Guinness did a fun treasure hunt like campaign, and it was so creative that most people didn't mind opening a mysterious bottle and finding an ad. So, as you can see here, they dropped thousands of bottles into the ocean, and inside of them, it was an ad for Guinness and also something that said to send it in, and you could get a little gift in return. I don't know if you could get away with littering in the ocean today, but geocaching and other discovery-based games are fun for people to play. And if you're providing little rewards like Guinness did, it can be exciting. And this was what they put in the bottle. Then as you can see here, they say to send this in and you can get something sent to you. So yeah, just do some fun campaigns. The Blair Witch Project is considered by some as the greatest marketing campaign ever. The main theme behind the Blair Witch Project marketing campaign was to establish uncertainty among the public. So no one knew what was real and what wasn't, and everyone was talking about it. They made it feel real by creating missing posters, spreading online interviews, and keeping all footage first person so it felt less cinematic. The website was the most instrumental component of the integrated marketing campaign. It didn't sell to get users to go see the movie, but instead focused on the myth to confuse and scare potential viewers. People then went to see the movie on their own. Our takeaways are people love a little bit of mystery. Spreading things through word of mouth and creating urban legend has a way bigger impact than trying to artificially start things through social media. And I know I'm kind of going quickly over some of these slides, but if you want to just pause it and read, there's some more good information in there that I don't go over for time reasons. Another quick example of making an outrageous guarantee and then following through with it is LifeLock. So the CEO of LifeLock did this by pasting his social security number everywhere and then promising people if they used LifeLock, their identity would be protected. Nordstrom has a similar guarantee where they will literally take back anything people try to return. And once a person actually returned a tire to their clothing store and got money back for it. So Nordstrom leaked this to the press and increased publicity, but they had an influx of people abusing the system. Similarly, LifeLock's CEO did get his identity stolen, so only make claims you can follow through on. The next one is one of my favorites of the bunch because it's so creative and was really cool for the winner. But the Queensland Tourism Board posted a job looking for someone to come to Queensland for a year and get paid to be a tourist, which sounds amazing. A man was picked and spent the next year traveling around Queensland, taking pictures and writing about everything he was doing and then sharing it online. So this generated a ton of popularity and revenue for the area and increased their tourism quite a bit. So takeaways: give people great rewards for participating in your campaign, stuff that they actually will enjoy. And if you lose a little bit of money but gain one raving fan, it's way worth it in the end because you're going to have a repeated customer and you're going to end up with way more raving fans. Now we're going to shift a little bit and briefly talk about a good deed. It's better to spend your budget on doing something helpful rather than using it for a marketing campaign that will just be a bother to some people. So being authentic, I think, will go a lot farther. And here in this example, a Polish Olympic athlete chose to auction off her medal for a sick child. She said the real value of the medal remains in the heart, and she would rather the money go to a good cause. So this itself was really nice, but a Polish supermarket chain chose to buy it for over $100,000, and then they did give the medal back to Maria, the athlete. This obviously won them a ton of praise, and it was cool because of instead of spending all their money on an advertising campaign, they were able to reach the same amount of people and do a good deed at the same time. So the takeaway from this is it's better to be an authentically good business that makes a positive difference in the lives of people, and then people will come to you naturally. So this was just a brief overview of some cool campaigns and movements and some things that you can learn from them as you build your own movement. This was just a short little video, but we have a lot more coming soon. So we will post that soon and hope to see you guys back. Thank you.